Okay, so this morning we have Mrs. Gaier here from the guidance office here at Tibb High School.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Gaier. I don't know, you're all freshmen, so I don't know if you've been into the counseling office yet, but my job is to greet people as they come in, and I help the counselors with a variety of tasks. Mrs. Potter asked me to talk about reliability with my job. You all know what reliability is, to be a reliable friend or daughter or classmate, but pertaining to my job, how I'm reliable, I looked up a definition for office work, and it's to complete tasks on time, every time, with the same high quality of work. Showing up on time, respecting deadlines are some of the things that are expected from someone who is considered a reliable person. So it looks like I might be just sitting there like a Walmart greeter, greeting people, which that is part of it, but I maintain the student records, so we have something called the records room where all your files are. We have current students, withdrawn students, graduated students. So once you graduate, if you need your transcript for employment or future education, then you call me or email me, and I pull up your record and I send it to a college or send it to you. Your immunizations, I have to keep track of all those, along with the nurse. A lot of that record keeping, it's being reliable, meaning you're accurate and you're putting the form in the right folder or in the computer or the hard copy. I also enroll and withdraw students, so if any of you were new, you might have seen me when you came in with your parents to enroll. I have to gather all the proper paperwork, enter it into the data system, PowerSchool, accurately, because we rely on that to be 100% accurate. When parents call for information or teachers come down and or the principals or the counselors, they get into those files, it has to be accurate, and they have to rely on me. I pull a lot of reports from PowerSchool for teachers. They rely on me to be timely and accurate, and everything is current. And also, I think a part of being reliable in my job is being approachable and friendly, that students, parents, teachers, staff can rely on me to help them. I've worked here, this is my 20th year. I used to do Mrs. Petro's job, taking attendance and all that up front, and then 10 years ago I moved back to the counseling office. And my own kids went here. I loved working here. That I didn't go to, you don't have to go to school to do this job. I did go to college to be a lab technician, and I think that helped me in the sense of being a helper. My personality is to help people, and to be accurate. To be a lab technician, you have to be very accurate, and I think that carried over into this. So that's what I do. What are your questions? Anybody? Come on. Yes.
How did education play a role in how you chose your career?
Well, so like I said, I went to college to be a lab technician. I did that for 10 years. Then I stayed home. I have 3 children. And when it was time that I thought I wanted to go back to work, I started subbing in the district. And I liked the hours to be a lab technician. A lot of times you're working weekends and holidays, and I didn't really want to go back to that. And like I said, I was in a service industry helping people, and I enjoyed that. So I started subbing, and then the full-time job came open, and so you don't really have to have per se a college degree for it, but you have to have some training in office procedures.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yes.
What do you think you will do after you leave the career you are currently doing?
Well, I'm going to retire after this year. So what am I going to do? Well, I have a new grandson, so I will be spending time with him. to, you know, you can get caught up in being so busy that you don't enjoy your work, maybe, like it's a hassle, maybe it's a grind, but really enjoy it. Every year is different, and helping kids I'm very passionate about it. So I think I would just reinforce to enjoy that part of it. Yes?
What are the biggest misconceptions about your work?
I think that I just sit there and greet people as they come in, because even though that is a big part of my job, I kind of, if I can help them, I will help them. If they have to see a counselor, sometimes I can answer the question, but if they, then I will make sure that the counselor is available before the student goes back. I think that's the biggest misconception. Yeah. Yes?
What is one of the most important things you learned during your career that changed your career direction?
This current career
Or any.
career? Well, I think, like I've said a couple times, being a lab technician, I really enjoyed that, and I learned that I do like to help people. That is very fulfilling to me, whether it's helping them in a hospital setting or here at school. Whether it's a parent calling saying, this might be a dumb question, but I don't know, if they, like your parents, if you're the oldest in the family, you're freshmen, they don't know things about the high school, and I can help them with that. I've been there. My 3 kids went here, so I know what that's like. Did I answer that? Anybody else? Yes?
How did technology change your career from when you started?
When I first started, sometimes attendance was on paper, not in the computer. As you all know, when computers work, everything's great, but when they don't, then it's very irritating. We've had different databases. When I first came, all the grades and attendance was in this old database called the AS400, and it was very archaic. And then we updated to a program called Dazzle, and that was great. It was so much quicker, and just you could pull a lot more reports. And now we have PowerSchool, which is even bigger and better. So it has changed quite a bit. Yes?
What's the most important skill you've developed and why?
The most important skill is probably the computer skills, I would say. To me, I like puzzles, so a teacher will come down and say, can you give me a list of all freshmen that have taken Art 1 in 8th grade for credit? So that's not, you have to put in the right things to pull that data out. That's not like a popular request. So I would say that. Yes?
How important is adaptability in your career, and can you give us an example of a time when you had to use it?
Adaptability. It is important because every phone call I get, every student that comes in, every request from an administrator could be different or something I've never done before. So you have to, like every profession, you have to draw on your past experiences. Okay, how can I do this? How can I help this person? So you have to be flexible and adaptable to provide what they're asking for. Yeah. Or you have to treat students different. If you have a student who's a jokester that comes in, you don't want to be really rigid with them. You don't want to let it go too goofy, but you want to meet them where they are. So I think you have to adapt to that personalities too. Yes.
What would you say makes you different from others you do?
I like to think we're all friendly and approachable, but I do welcoming, so that students will come in and count on me for, you know, anything. Kids can be in study hall, and they're not afraid to come in and say, can I borrow your stapler? Or do you have a 3-hole punch? Or I have this question and I don't know who to ask. Or I can't, you know, I'm a freshman, I can't find my way to the locker room. You know, I really like to be one that students can come to for help. So really, you guys need anything, let me know. Yes?
How important was being reliable in your career?
I think it's very important because, like I said, students, teachers, parents, counselors, especially the counselors, really rely on me to screen phone calls, screen students, you know, what they need to help them, to try to take things off of their plate. And they just know they can rely on me. I mean, I pretty much am here every day. I don't call in sick. So it's important. Yes.
Do you prefer being in guidance, or do you prefer being on like attendance?
Well, I liked attendance. I think you get to know a lot more parents because they're calling in or emailing you saying Johnny is out, you know, today because, you know, we're going on a trip, or he's sick today, or whatever. But I do like where I am back in the counseling office. One thing I guess I forgot to mention is in the spring, when you guys are seniors, we offer scholarships, and I'm very passionate about helping seniors apply for those. So I like where I am better, I think, because it's more seasons of jobs. Like it's a lot of enrollment in the beginning, a lot of pulling reports, schedule things, and then there's other things in the middle of the year, like Buckeye Boy State, Buckeye Girl State, that I work with them to try and get students that might be interested in that. And then in the spring, of course, it's graduation and scholarships. So I think there's more variety where I am. So I think I like that better. Anybody else?
Any other questions?
Thank you for listening to me.
What school or what college did you have to do your lab tech?
I'm from Vermont. I went to the University of Vermont. I have a bachelor's of science.
Just pardon the interruption. At this time, if any wrestlers could please come to the office for a few minutes, please. Any wrestlers to the office.
So, being a lab technician, you can work in a hospital, you could work in a lab that's its own building that hospitals or doctors' offices send their blood work to. You could work in like the community blood center. So, yeah.
And which one did you do?
I worked in a doctor's office lab. When I moved to Dayton, I worked in downtown Dayton in an allergist lab, so I ran all his allergy tests. And I worked at Miami Valley Hospital, also in the, you know, big hospital and a big lab. But when I was in Vermont, I worked in a, you know, it's more rural. So I worked in a hospital that actually the hospital I was born in, I worked in. And so it was like, I don't know, 50-bed hospital, not very big. You go up to the patients, you draw their blood, and then you go down and you do all the, you know, if you've had CBC done, or chemistry profile, or if you ever had strep throat, where they swab your throat, and then so that swab would come to me, and I would take a Petri dish and swab it on there, and then put it in an incubator overnight to see if it grows any of the bacteria that would be strep. So that's interesting. I love that. I love it. It was very interesting. It was like a puzzle. Again, I like puzzles, so it was like that.
And how long did you do that before you had your kids?
10 years. Yeah.
So if you had like some advice for someone who wanted to do what you do, what advice would you give them?
My 3 kids went here, and that I loved being a part of. I mean, they had their own world. really, you know, bother each other. But if you're passionate about helping students and parents, then you should apply and work for the schools. You know, I live in this community too, so I mean, that's a plus.